My name is Keshwani. That's Keshwani, Keshwani. I have been solving math problems for GRE out of this book here, practicing to take the GRE General Test, the 10th edition. If you do not own this book already, purchase one immediately. The problem that I'm about to solve is the one that you're going to find on page number 291. Page number 291, quantitative comparison question number 3. Let's take a look at it. They are telling you that x is an integer greater than 1. X is an integer. That's another way, that's a fancy way of saying x is an integer. It's a fancy way of saying that x has to be a whole number and it has to be more than 1. They go on to tell us that it has to be more than 1. So let's make a note here that x has to be more than 1 and it has to be an integer. And they want you to compare two quantities. 2x plus 5 versus 5x plus 2. The common information that they give you, the information that they give you that applies to both columns, it's a good idea to put them right in the middle. Well, there are a couple of ways you can solve this problem. One is what I call the classical way, the traditional way, the orthodox way, the geeky way, the nerdy way, the academic way, the proper way, the mathematical way. And the other one is what I call the quick and dirty way. The quick and dirty way here would be to plug in number. Since they're telling me x has to be more than 1 and I'm told that x has to be a whole number, the logical value that comes to my mind to plug in, the simplest value that comes to my mind is 2. Let's plug in 2 for x. So if we plug in, I'm going to just erase this part here and make a note for you here. Plug in x equals 2. If you plug in x equals to 2, this is 2 times 2 is 4 plus 5, and there's 2 times 2 is 10 plus 2. As you can see, 12. 12 is more than 9. The answer is B. That's it, we're done. And that's all you have to do here. That's it. You don't have to worry about anything else. That's all. You don't have to worry about, if you watch any of my previous clip, I always remind you that always keep in mind that the numbers come in 2 flavors, if you recall, nice and nasty. And then I go on to explain that when you're doing nasty scenarios, you have to contemplate the possibility of 0, which is ruled out here because I'm told that x has to be more than 1. The next nasty number that we always have to keep in the back of our mind is 1, which is ruled out here because x has to be more than 1. And then I talk about the negatives, which we cannot do here because x has to be positive, and fraction, which is not allowed here because it's a whole number. So all the nasty situations, all the situations that might give trouble to an average person, they have been taken out of it, which is why it's number 3. There are 15 problems in this set here, 15 quantitative comparison questions, and on a scale of 1 through 15, this is only number 3, that's all. Now let me do the same problem in a little bit different way, in a non-traditional way, in the classical way, the traditional way, the academic way if you like, the proper way if you like, which is this. Look, 2x plus 5 and 5x plus 2. What do you see? Very first thing that I see here is that I see a 5 here and 2 here. Why don't I subtract 5 from both sides? Subtract 2 from both sides. If I subtract 2 from both sides, if I subtract 2 from the other side, this 2 drops out and this 5 becomes a 3. I also see 2x here and a 5x there. I'm going to subtract 2x from both sides and that becomes 3x. So basically what has boiled down so far is that I'm being asked to compare 3 and 3x. Since 3 appears on both sides, I'm going to divide both sides by 3, and that takes care of this. And basically I'm asked to compare x versus 1 versus x. Now this part that I just did here, I'm going to erase all of this thing, because had this been a real exam, I wouldn't have wasted my time doing it out like this. This is what I would have done. I'm going to erase this thing. I'm not going to make it very childish. Let's do it as a grown-up people. Erase this part, divide both sides by 3, and this 3 drops out. So I'm asked to compare 1 versus x, which I have been told is more than 1. They're telling me that x is more than 1. I have been told I have been told that x is more than 1. So basically what they're asking us, if you understand this process and if you see this process right away, it's a very ridiculous problem, because what they're asking you is, can you tell us which quantity is bigger, 1 or x, which we are telling you is more than 1. Obviously it's b, because you just told me it's more than 1. You're right here. So if this quantity has to be more than 1, then obviously the answer is b. That's all. But anyway, that was a little bit different way of doing it. But if you don't like this thing, if you cannot brook it, if you cannot tolerate it, if you cannot handle it, if you cannot stomach it, then forget about it. Just stick with the plugging in method. All right. Let's move on to the next problem, number 4. Let me look at the clock in the back so that I know how much time I have left, because I need to know how to pace myself. Number 4. Just 1 second. Oh boy, I have taken up more than 6 minutes in number 3. Let's do number 4 very quickly. So now we are doing number 4. This is the tag that you want to use if you're ever looking for a particular problem. Just type in GRE -10E, 10E for the 10th edition of the book. That's what 10E stands for. Then the page number 291, whatever the page number that you're looking for, dash, and then QC for quantitative comparison question, and the question number. That's it. Number 4. 3 times 2 to the 5th versus 5 times 3 to the 2nd. Let's see what we can do here. They have the power inside the parentheses, I have it outside, it doesn't really matter. So, the easiest and the simplest thing, don't try to figure out this whole bloody thing. These questions are not called quantitative computation. You see, that's why I write down the word computation and then I cross it out to emphasize the fact that these are not computations. These questions are called quantitative comparison, and hence one is expected to compute, one is expected to compare the two columns, not compute them. So here's what you do. Open it up. So this becomes 3 times 2 to the 5th is same as 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. And here I have 5 times 3 times 3. Since very first thing I notice is that 3 appears in both sides. So if I were to divide both sides of the column by 3, this 3 will drop out like this. But now, of course, had it been a real exam, I wouldn't have done this childish part of showing you that I'm dividing both sides by 3. If I cross out 3 from there and 3 from there, you have to understand that I'm dividing both columns by 3, which is okay to do. So that 3 goes out. What else can I drop out? Well, let's see. So basically this is 15. This is 15. And here 2 times 2 is 4, 4 times 2 is 8, 8 times 2 is 16. Oh, there you go. There you go. I don't know if you can handle it or not, because this is a very complicated problem now. Can you tell me which quantity is bigger, 15 or 16 times 2? That's all. As I told you, this is a very simple problem. There are 15 questions. The first 5 are very straightforward, very simple. That's what it boils down to. Here we have 15, 3 times 5 is 15. And here we have 2 times 2, which is 4 times 2 is 8, 8 times 2 is 16. I could have written 32, but I have a little bit of flair for the dramatics. So instead of writing 32, I write down 16 times 2 to bring it to your attention that, can you tell me which quantity is bigger, 15 times 1 or 16 times 2? That's how simple it is. That's all. I hope you found it helpful. If you wish to get hold of me for personal private tutoring, face-to-face tutoring, I do, or over the phone or over the internet, or if you have any questions at all, if you wish to buy the solution manuals to any of these questions, just get hold of me. Go to my website at www.for4gre.com and send me an email, alright? Or you can also go to www.KeshwaniPrep.com. Okay? Thanks.